There's a 3-pounder Royal Navy gun on the shores of Victoria Harbour that still fires every day at noon in Causeway Bay. This has been tradition for over 160 years since the 1860s. How did this come to be? In 1841, the Jardine Matheson Company bought the first plot of land in Hong Kong to be sold by the colonial government by public auction in East Point, now Causeway Bay. Formerly on the coast, the plot of land was used as a warehouse and wharf for loading and unloading cargo ships. However, early business suffered from pirate attacks, and so Jardine built a fort on the coastline to protect their business. When a senior executive, a taipan, of the company arrived by ship, the fort's private militia would fire a gun salute to welcome their arrival. One day in the 1850s, Sir Robert Jardine, the general manager, was returning to Hong Kong from the United Kingdom. His ship flew the high-level naval flag at his approach from Le Yu Mun. His company's militia fired a 21-gun salute, which represented the highest respect, as usual. A 21-gun salute is usually reserved for heads of state, government officials, or senior officers of the armed services. Because of this, the governor at the time, who was from the UK and had no knowledge of this tradition, was annoyed by this practice. British troops stationed in Hong Kong believed that Jardine was only a trading firm, and as such had no power to fire salutes of such respect for a private company's executives. As punishment, the Jardines were ordered to fire a gun every day at noon indefinitely as a public service for timekeeping. Because of this, the gun at the shore of Causeway Bay has been fired at noon continuously since the 1860s for over 160 years, stopping only during the Japanese occupation of Hong Kong from 1941 to 1945. During that time, the Japanese Imperial Army dismantled the original gun, which has since been lost. After British forces regained Hong Kong in 1945, the Royal Navy provided Jardine with a new 6-pounder gun with which to continue the tradition of the noonday gun. The noonday gun was back in operation in August 1947 on the second anniversary of the liberation of Hong Kong and the unconditional surrender by the Japanese Imperial forces. The gun has been fired every day ever since, with its position on the coastline moving with land reclamation in Causeway Bay, pushing it further and further back from its original position. In 1961, the Marine Police replaced the 6-pounder gun with a smaller 3-pounder gun, which is currently in use following noise complaints from nearby residents that the gun was too loud. However, from personal experience, I can assure you that the smaller 3-pounder gun is still sufficiently loud. The original 6-pounder gun is now placed on the right side of the current gun. Although British rule ended in Hong Kong in 1997, the tradition of firing the noonday gun is continued by Jardine. This has become a minor tourist attraction in Hong Kong, and a small crowd will gather for this daily event. After which, the site surrounding the gun will be open to the public for half an hour. At the daily firing event, a Jardine's guard marches up to the site in uniform. The guard rings a bell to signal the end of the forenoon watch, a practice which signified the end of the 8 a.m. ship watching shift, which dates from the time when Jardine's main offices and warehouses were located at East Point. For a donation to the Community Chest charity, anyone can arrange to pull the rope that fires the gun by themselves. From this, the Jardine noonday gun has raised over $5 million for charity. If you would like to see the gun being fired for yourself, you can reach it from Causeway Bay MTR station by using the underpass under Gloucester Road. The underpass opens up near Cannon Street, which is named after the noonday gun. Google Maps directions are in the description. The site surrounding the gun inside of the fences is open to the public for half an hour after the firing of the gun, outside of which the area is closed. The gun can be viewed from outside the fence at any time, however. Other than noon, the gun is also fired by a Jardine's official at midnight every New Year's Day to celebrate the New Year. Both Jardine and Matheson were Scottish. Because of this, the New Year's midnight salute tradition is taken from Edinburgh Castle in Scotland. So, the New Year is welcomed with bagpipes and the song Auld Lang Syne, which roughly translates to "for old time's sake." The song is about preserving old friendships and looking back over the events of the year. And that's the 160-year-old story of how a 3-pounder Royal Navy gun fires daily in Causeway Bay.